It's 3 p.m. You just got off a call. You stated a clear, logical boundary. You said no to an unreasonable request from a client, from a superior, from someone who expects you to bend. The other person went quiet, just for a moment. But in that silence, you felt it, the hot flush of panic, the frantic, screaming alarm of social anxiety ringing between your ears. So you folded. You broke. You started backtracking, your voice getting higher. Sorry, I just mean, maybe we can find a middle ground. I didn't mean to be difficult. You filled their silence with your own submission. You apologized for having a spine. You apologized for your own strength. And in that moment, you taught them exactly how to defeat you next time. Wait for the silence. He will break himself. The enemy is not your boss. It is not your client. The enemy is the desperate, clawing need for approval that lives inside your own skull. It is a parasite that is burrowed into your psyche, and it feeds on your conviction. It whispers that harmony is more important than truth, that being liked is more valuable than being respected. It is the voice of the herd, and it is terrified of being cast out. This voice has been your commander for years, and its primary order is to shrink, to placate, to apologize for your own existence. In 7 minutes, I will give you the 5-step protocol to kill the apology reflex. This is not a list of tips. It is a weapon system for your mind. But first, you need to understand the psychological mechanism of status deference, because without it, you will continue to unconsciously signal your own submission in every conversation you have for the rest of your life. This protocol will fail if you do not grasp the nature of the enemy you are fighting inside your own head. The 99% of men live this way. They are apologetic creatures, constantly looking for permission, constantly shrinking to fit into spaces built by others. They say sorry for taking up air. They believe their thoughts, their needs, and their time are an inconvenience they must justify. They think being agreeable makes them good men. You think you're being agreeable. You are being forgotten. The 1%, the men who operate with a sovereign mind, understand that an apology is a precision tool. It is used only to admit a genuine, tactical error. For anything else, for a truth, for a boundary, for a principle, an apology is a confession of weakness. It is a voluntary lowering of your own status. It is an invitation for others to dominate you. This reflex, this compulsive need to say, "I'm sorry," is not a personality quirk. It is a disease of the will. It is a failure of your internal doctrine. It has infected your negotiations, telling you to accept less than you are worth because asking for more might seem aggressive. It has poisoned your relationships, teaching you to apologize for your standards to keep a peace that is not peace at all, but a slow, simmering surrender. You believe you are building bridges. You are actually just tearing down your own fortress, brick by brick, and handing the stones to your opponent. You are not a peacemaker. You are an arms dealer to your own opposition. And every time you do it, you carve the neural pathway of submission a little deeper. You are rehearsing your own defeat. A sovereign man does not apologize for the space he occupies. He does not apologize for the truth he speaks. He does not apologize for the standards he holds. He understands that the discomfort of others is not his responsibility to manage, especially when that discomfort is a reaction to his own integrity. The path to mental command is paved with moments of social friction. It requires you to stand firm in the silence that once made you crumble. It requires a new protocol. If you click away now, you are making a conscious choice to let this parasite continue to feed on you. You are surrendering to the part of you that begs to be liked over being respected. You are choosing the comfort of the herd over the cold, hard freedom of the operator. Do not surrender. The briefing has just begun. You believe this habit of apologizing is a strength. You tell yourself it's about being polite, being a team player, keeping the peace. You think it makes you the bigger man, the one who smooths things over for the good of the mission. This is a lie. It is a carefully constructed illusion you use to justify a profound weakness. It is the story you whisper to yourself to mask the terrifying reality. You are afraid of social friction. You are terrified of the silence that follows a hard truth. You are addicted to the cheap, temporary relief of being liked, even if it costs you your respect. You call it keeping the peace. It is a unilateral ceasefire where you are the only one laying down your arms. This isn't diplomacy. This is surrender. You are not an operator. You are a reactor, a slave to the emotional states of others. True sovereign command begins with admitting that this reflex is not a virtue. It is a vulnerability in your armor. The mechanism that traps you, the ghost in your machine, is a cognitive bias known as the liking gap. This is not a feeling. It is a documented error in your brain's threat assessment software. Neurologically, humans are hardwired to consistently and severely underestimate how much other people like them and approve of their actions. It's an evolutionary hangover from a time when tribal rejection meant certain death. Your brain, in its ancient paranoia, would rather send 1,000 false alarms about being disliked than miss one real threat of exile. So it screams at you. It screams that you've offended someone, that you've created a problem, that you are on the verge of being cast out. And you, believing the faulty intelligence from your own command center, react. You apologize to soothe an anxiety that exists only in your head. You are shadowboxing with a phantom, and you are losing. You think you're building bridges with these apologies. You are digging your own trench of submission. Every time you say sorry for stating a fact, for holding a boundary, for taking a moment to think, you are not being agreeable. You are broadcasting a lack of conviction. You are training the people around you, your team, your clients, your family, that your positions are negotiable, that your time is not valuable, that your principles can be bent with the slightest application of social pressure. You are teaching them the precise protocol for how to defeat you. The cost of this is catastrophic, but it's slow. It's a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Each needless apology is a tiny concession, a small surrender of territory. Over months and years, you look up and find your entire internal fortress has been occupied by the expectations and desires of others. You have no ground left to stand on that is truly your own. Remember the 5-step protocol I mentioned? The one that will kill this reflex? We are almost there, but there is one more layer of enemy doctrine you must understand first. Otherwise, the protocol will fail. You can have the best weapon in the world, but if you don't understand the enemy's philosophy of war, you will still be outmaneuvered. You will try to execute the steps, feel the friction, and your corrupted software will convince you that the friction is a sign of failure. It is not. It is a sign of engagement with reality. To prepare you for that engagement, we must first consult the master strategist who conquered this exact weakness in himself 2,000 years ago, while commanding the most powerful empire on earth. We must understand the doctrine before we can execute the protocol. Stay with me. The briefing is not over. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, a man who commanded legions and held the fate of the known world in his hands, wrote in his private journal, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone." Read that again. He did not say, "I will apologize for making them uncomfortable." He did not say, "I'm sorry if my facts bruised your feelings." He sought correction, not approval. His loyalty was to the truth, to objective reality, not to the emotional weather patterns of other men. This is the mindset of a sovereign individual. His internal fortress was built on the bedrock of reality, not the shifting sands of social validation. This is the weapon you have been denied. This is the Stoic law of objective action. It is a simple, brutal doctrine. You are responsible for your actions and your intentions. You are not responsible for another person's interpretation of those actions or their emotional response to them. Their reaction is their property. It is the output of their own internal operating system, their own biases, their own weaknesses. To apologize for their reaction is to trespass on their sovereignty. It is an act of profound arrogance, assuming you have the power to manage their internal state. More importantly, it is an act of profound weakness, confessing that their emotional comfort is more important than your operational objective. Think about yesterday. You sent a direct, factual email to a colleague pointing out a critical error in a report. You were not rude. You were not emotional. You were precise. You saw the notification that they read it, and what did you do? You spent the next hour in a state of low-grade anxiety. You reread your own email, searching for any hint of aggression. You wondered if you should have softened the language, added an emoji, or started with a useless platitude. That anxiety is your failure to apply the law. Your duty was to communicate the facts clearly to achieve the mission objective. Their emotional response is their domain, their battle to fight. To feel anxiety over it, to even consider apologizing for it, is to take responsibility for their lack of emotional discipline. You are abandoning your post to go fight a battle that isn't yours, leaving your own mind undefended. Remember the 5-step protocol I mentioned? We are almost there. But you must internalize this doctrine first. This Stoic law is the why behind the what. Without this philosophical armor, the protocol will feel like a hollow tactic. You will abandon it at the first sign of social pressure because you won't have the conviction to withstand the discomfort. The protocol is the rifle. This doctrine is the will to fire it. Most men live their lives in a state of constant low-level apology. They apologize for taking up space, for having an opinion, for needing a moment of someone's time. They are reactors, not actors. They will hear this, nod, and change nothing, because the comfort of being liked is a powerful sedative. The operator, the 1%er, recognizes this sedative for the poison it is. He chooses the discomfort of discipline over the ease of submission. Which one are you? Tell me in the comments right now. The last thing you apologized for that you knew, in your gut, required no apology. I read every single one. If you want to continue this mission of forging a sovereign mind, make sure you are subscribed. Next week, we are deconstructing the weakness of emotional envy, the silent resentment you feel toward men who possess the confidence you currently lack. You now understand the doctrine. You have the philosophical framework. Next, you receive your orders. The tactical protocol to execute this new command is imminent. Prepare yourself. These are not suggestions. They are orders. This is the 5-step protocol to cauterize the approval-seeking wound and reclaim your command. You will learn it. You will drill it. You will execute it until it becomes as unconscious as breathing. Your path to becoming a sovereign operator begins now. Listen carefully. Number 1, the pause. The next time you state a boundary, a fact, or a decision, and you feel that familiar, hot wave of social panic, the next time the word sorry starts to rise from your gut into your throat, you will execute a non-negotiable physical action. You will physically close your mouth. You will press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and you will take one deep, silent breath through your nose, holding it for a count of 2. This is not a moment of reflection. It is a tactical maneuver. The psychological reason is simple. This action is a pattern interrupt. Your apology reflex is a deeply conditioned neurological loop, a shortcut your brain takes from social discomfort to verbal submission. The pause severs that connection. It is a circuit breaker for your weakness, creating a critical 2-second window where logic can storm the cockpit and take back control from the panicked reactor. You think you are just pausing. You are actually staging a counterinsurgency inside your own skull. Number 2, the rephrase. You will now reprogram your vocabulary. Effective immediately, you will replace apologies with statements of fact or gratitude. This is a direct command. Instead of sorry for the delay, you will say, thank you for your patience. Instead of sorry to bother you, you will say, I require a moment of your time when you are available. Instead of sorry, that's just my opinion, you will say, this is my assessment. The psychological reason for this is frame control. Language does not describe reality, it creates it. When you apologize, you frame the interaction around your failure, your inconvenience, your weakness. You hand the other person the dominant position. By rephrasing, you re-anchor the interaction in a neutral or positive frame. You are no longer a problem to be tolerated. You are an operator engaging with another. This protocol is not about being arrogant. It is about being precise and sovereign. Number 3, the intention audit. Before you enter any meeting, any negotiation, or any conversation where conflict is a possibility, you will perform a pre-mission briefing with yourself. You will take a pen and a piece of paper, not a phone, not a computer, and you will write your primary objective in a single, clear sentence. My intention is to secure the new deadline, or my intention is to decline the additional project scope. This document is now your commander's intent. You will place it where you can see it. When you feel the pull to fold, to soften, to apologize for your position, you will look at this sentence. The psychological reason is that it anchors you to a logical purpose. The approval-seeking part of your brain wants an emotional goal. Make everyone feel good. The intention audit subordinates that emotional goal to the strategic mission. It makes it psychologically more difficult to betray your objective for a cheap hit of social validation. Number 4. The discomfort hole. The next time you state an uncomfortable truth or hold a boundary and are met with silence, you will fight every instinct you have. You will not fill that silence. You will not explain yourself. You will not backtrack. Instead, you will maintain direct but relaxed eye contact, and you will remain completely silent for 3 full seconds longer than your screaming nerves want you to. You will count them in your head. 1, 2, 3. The psychological reason is exposure therapy. You are deliberately training your nervous system to tolerate social friction. You are severing the link between someone else's quiet discomfort and your own internal 5-alarm fire. You are learning on a cellular level that silence is not a threat. It is a space for the other person to process the reality you have presented. You are teaching your body that you do not need to rescue others from the truth. Number 5. The pre-mortem. You will select one day in the coming week. Designate it. On this day, you will not apologize for any valid action, statement, or boundary. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Before that day begins, you will sit for 5 minutes and conduct a pre-mortem. You will visualize the specific moments of friction this new doctrine will cause. See the awkward silence on the video call. Feel the flash of irritation from a colleague. Hear the hesitation in a friend's voice. You will accept it all in advance. The psychological reason for this is that it is a controlled demolition of your approval-seeking identity. By pre-accepting and pre-experiencing the negative emotional consequences in a controlled environment, you strip the fear of its power. You give yourself permission to operate purely on principle, not on the desperate need to manage the emotions of others. This is your live fire exercise. You now have the protocol. These 5 steps are your new armor. Now, let's close the loop and understand the mechanism that made you a slave to begin with. Apologizing for your principles is not politeness. It is the silent negotiation of your own surrender. This reflex, this compulsive need to say sorry, has been carving deep grooves in your brain for decades. A slave's protocol running on a loop. The next 24 hours are the critical window to execute the new protocol and blast a new path through that conditioned weakness. The intense discomfort you will feel is not a sign you are doing something wrong. It is the feeling of weakness leaving your system. It is the price of strength, the cost of becoming sovereign. Type this in the comments now. Truth requires no apology. Typing this phrase is a public declaration. It creates a micro-commitment that your brain will fight to remain consistent with. It is your digital contract with yourself, a first strike against the reactor inside you. Execute.